Hi there, welcome to my channel, The Jellyfish Journals. My name is Susie, and today I'm going to work on a spread to help me not spend so much time just goofing off on my phone. So, this is the sticker book that I'll be using for the whole spread, and I'm going to jump right in, but I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of background on why I felt this was a good idea for me. So I spend a lot of time on my phone just goofing off. And I don't want to just say doom scrolling because it isn't always Instagram scrolling. Sometimes that is what it is. But I think I like, well, not I think, I know I tend to get hooked on these silly little games on my phone. And when I get hooked on something, I get very hooked and I will become extremely fixated on whatever that game is that I am fixated on at the moment. And currently, it is a silly little merge game called Gossip Harbor. I think it's so much fun. I don't pay a dime, just to be clear. I don't get so addicted that I spend money on them. They're always a free game. And if I get to a point where I can't do something without paying, then I wait until I can do something again. So it's not breaking my bank account, it's just breaking my clock account, I guess. Um, but anyway, I I think there's nothing wrong with checking out and relaxing. And if you need to do that on your phone or whatever, I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. I think I think sometimes it's a really good way to kind of check out and ignore reality, which I think is healthy to some extent. I know I spend all day talking to little kids, 8 and 9 year olds, all day, every day. And at the end of the day, I just kind of want to crawl into my bubble and goof off on my phone, do something I want to do at my pace. However, there's always a point when I look up at the clock and I realize I've been playing that silly game for an hour or more. I've been scrolling on Instagram for an hour or more, 2 hours, whatever it is. The point is, there's always some moment where I'm aware of how much time I have actually been spending on whatever it is I'm doing on my phone. And I I know sometimes I'm just not motivated to do anything else. Sometimes I'm just genuinely burnt out. And the thought of even reading a book is too much brain power, or the thought of vacuuming is just too much energy, those kinds of things. But I also know there's a lot of times when, oh, here we go. I'm about to make a mistake. Look, I spelled phone with two N's. Time to course correct here. And so I'll just cut out some bullet journal paper and stick it down on top and fix it. But I'm going to keep rambling, but you'll see the funny thing is I try to keep that second N in there and glue the E down after both N's. I don't know why I was struggling so much with this. Anyway, there's always that point where I look at my phone and realize, oh, I've been on this for a long time. And then there's that little bit of regret where I think it's right now when I glue it down. It's always very distracting to watch myself do these things, especially like on speed. There I go. See? I teach third grade. Look at me spell. um, but I sometimes I look at my phone and I think, oh man, I could have finished that book I was reading, or I could have been working on something else, or I could have been running a load of laundry while I was doing this. And I know that's not everybody's mentality, but I know it is mine. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting this paper in the Archer and Olive. It just doesn't dry as fast. Like whatever pens I'm using don't seem to dry as fast as they do in other journals I've used. So I have to like start watching that eraser because I tend to erase it before it's fully dry and it smears everywhere and drives me bonkers. So trying to fix the word the. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and dry before I do that. Anyway, anyway, again, for the second or third or 15th time, I have no idea. All that to say, I just thought it would be good if I actually put a little brain power into what else could I be doing with my time. And I'm not talking big projects or that I always have to be super productive, but I just wanted little things that I could be doing where if I'm on my phone and I've been relaxing for a bit and I look up at the clock or I look at the time on my phone and I think, this is not what I really want to be doing for the next 30, 40 minutes before I realize how much time has gone by. I wanted a place where there were just suggestions, some other ideas of things I could do. So, what I've done here is I've made this little Dutch door on the bottom. And the idea is that I thought of 4 categories of alternative time fillers, time users. And I wanted to kind of have them all connected to this idea of, hey, Susie, put down your phone. So the title or the header is going to stay there at the top. And on the bottom, I'm going to have this little Dutch door, and each side of the Dutch door is going to have one of those 4 categories with ideas that go along with those categories. I knew that I kind of wanted to make the Dutch door stand out a little bit, and I just loved all the bright colors in this sticker book. So on one side, I'm doing these colorful hearts where half the heart is one color and half of a heart is another color, and those stripes with the black in there. And I thought the stripes would tie in the black color really nicely. In the end, this spread ends up being a bit chaotic, but I think it really works. All these different patterns, like I said, all come from the same sticker book. They seem like they're intended to go together. There's the 4 categories I came up with. So, but all of those stickers, I think, as long as you don't overdo it on the visual chaos, I think you can mix your patterns really well. So, like I said, in the end, it is still going to be quite chaotic, but I think I figured out a way to tone it down visually for myself so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. So the categories I came up with for things that I could do instead of just letting time go by while I goof off on my phone again would be active. So things that I could do to make my body more active. Social, anything I could do to help me connect with somebody else. And then on the other side of this page, I really was thinking productive, purposeful, something like that. And it was just too long. All the other words were shorter. So I end up changing it to useful, which just means things that are productive or purposeful, but useful fit a lot better, and relaxing activities. So right now I'm pulling out some heart boxes to go along with the washi strips that I put down. And I will just keep flipping through this book until something jumps out at me. Sometimes I will flip and flip and flip until I just get an idea. Sometimes I keep flipping until I realize I'm in the wrong book and this is not going to work at all. But I knew that I wanted to balance the stripes on the right with the hearts on the left, and so have a little bit of each component on each side, if that makes sense. So on the active side there, I know I'm going to put stickers that have stripes on them to bring that in. I love the idea of having black pop as an accent color, and I loved these boxes with the polka dots along the side. So those will make an appearance here and there. And I was about to say, and some polka dots on the clear sticker sheets. And really, something like that, an element like that, can end up making a chaotic spread look a little more purposeful in the sense that it'll end up looking less like I just went sticker crazy and stuck things down everywhere. It'll look a little more intentional. So you'll see I have the black dots, polka dots on the left. I've got some of that black polka dot element on the right, and you'll see I add some on the other sides. I liked that checklist strip right there, but it was just not quite long enough, and I don't know, I didn't like that it ended on pink. I don't know why. So I decided I was going to take the blue off of another checklist strip and add it on there. And these are some cool polka dot stickers that are made up of gold stripes. So you can't really tell the gold unless you see it when I'm flipping through the book. But that little gold element's just a little bit of fun. That little phrase said small steps every day. I thought that was appropriate. That one says hello possibilities. I'm not really into the little cheesy phrases, but sometimes they're kind of appropriate. And I usually love the shape. I love that long, narrow shape. It fits really nice and adds some interest. So they ended up in there. So on this side, I'm going to write the word relax in the same font that I did put down the phone. And normally I'm kind of a perfectionist with these things, but I think because I knew the spread was going to end up being a little more chaotic, I knew those imperfections wouldn't show as much. So it just ends up being perfectly fine that they're imperfect. Oh my goodness gracious. It ends up being perfectly fine that they are imperfect. And you see there, I changed that word to useful because all of the other words fit so nicely vertically. And I think I had productive there before and it was just a bit much. So the black dot polka dot box I'm using right now, you'll see it has that little notch cut out of the corner. Those stickers are intended to be put on a calendar spread, and so that little notch is missing for the date on the calendar. You'll see in a few minutes I cover up the notches because I still love the box sticker. I think the box sticker is super cool, but the little notch looks a little funky to me. So I wanted to use the box sticker, but not have that little notch showing. And so you can also see here I'm doing the opposite of what I had on the other page. So the black polka dot stickers on the clear background with a striped phrase and then a black strip phrase on the left where the stripes are. I can't really read those one. I can't remember. The bottom one near relax says plan your best life. I don't know if I can read the other one on the useful side, but that would be useful, wouldn't it? Get it? Anyway, there's another calendar notch box right there. It has the stripes. They're a little bit hard to see, especially because I sped up the video and my fingers are in the way a lot, but it does have a little bit of that striped element on it. So I thought that would be a lot of fun. And I'll bring in another one of those striped checklists so that will have a little bit of balance with what I had on the active layout, and then taking a little bit of that blue again and just adding it there. And again, just so those colors stay consistent throughout the spread. And I think I'm going to trim a little bit off of that. I knew I didn't want anything touching the striped washi at the top. I like that little white gap between all of the stickers. So that works a lot better if I trim that off. And I loved these striped stickers. They're kind of pastel, which doesn't fully go with that striped washi because the striped washi has bolder colors and the black stripes, but they were the perfect size to fit in that little notch. So I guess I don't cover the notch, but I kind of make it look like it has a reason for being notched, if that makes sense. And I wanted to put one on each page, so I think now, yeah, I'm looking for a notched box to go on the active page. And I'll put one more of those across that notch there too. The other thing that I do to try to make it not look so chaotic is I'll bring in a lot of solid elements. So like that blue notched box there, it's pretty much just a solid blue. The stripe checklists are more of solid colors. The phrase on the bottom right there is more of a solid black. Here's just a solid green box with those gold striped polka dots to carry that over. And so I wanted to do the same thing on this page to go opposite of what's on the relax side. But you'll notice basically whatever I put on the heart washi strip side, I try to mimic that on the heart washi strip side on the other washi strips. Heart, oh my goodness, guys, I must be tired. Whatever I try to do, let's do it this way. Whatever I do on the striped washi side, so useful and social, I try to do on the other side as well. That way, whatever elements are on the striped washi page are on both striped washi pages. Whatever elements are on the heart washi page are on both heart washi pages. This was another sticker I liked. I liked these stripes again. They connect with those pastel ones, but I didn't need the checklist dots and I didn't need the little black phrase. I don't know what it says at the top. I think it says check it out, list it out. It says list it out. I wasn't necessarily going to make a list on here, so I chopped that off and then I cut off those checklist dots. And you're about to watch me be a liar because I put that striped checklist on the heart washi page on that side, and I think I'm about to put it on the striped washi page on the other side. So yeah, basically I just contradicted myself, but I think what had happened was because that striped washi, that little striped strip next to that blue notched box, it ended up in the middle of the page. It would have kind of crashed into a striped box. So I think I just decided not to repeat that element. So basically, my plan right now is just to kind of put little boxes and spaces I can write in each of those. I would like to come up with 4, 5, 6 ideas for each category of other things that I could do instead of being on my phone. And again, it's really just about if I'm on my phone and I look at it and realize I should not be still playing this game, I should not still be scrolling and all of these things, then I would hopefully flip this open or at least just remember that I'd already come up with other ideas. I loved these 1, 2, 3 checklists. I thought they just came out really good. Yeah, that pastel washi was not working in the middle there for me. It kind of made it a little tricky to put anything else in there. And now you're going to watch me straighten my box a bunch. And I still want to use it somewhere. So I think, yeah, somewhere in here I just kind of use it as an element. Yeah, I like that. I think that came out good. I mean, I guess I like it since I did it and I left it there, but... And I really love this yellow. I wanted to bring some yellow into the left side here. And these yellow stickers, I don't know why it is so hard to find a nice, happy yellow. I feel like every sticker book I look at that has a nice, happy yellow, there's hardly any yellow stickers in there. Like this whole book, there's only these 2 yellow circle boxes. I hate calling them boxes, but you know what I mean. Like little empty circles to write in. And it's just so frustrating because I hate using them all at once. But I also know that I bought them to use them, so here it goes. But I wanted that yellow color to be in there for sure. That I knew that would make it stand out really well. So I think I go digging for more yellow to brighten that up a little bit. And hopefully you see what I mean now. There's a lot of chaos, but there's also a lot of solid going on, if that makes sense. You'll see I do some other things as it goes on, and the more I look at it to kind of tone it down. It does start to get crazy for a few minutes, but I found some ways to tone it down that I liked a lot better. And these circles just kind of go along with the whole circles of the polka dots that are on there. But I thought it would be cute to put some of these little hearts inside of them. Just again, so there's a little bit of a larger element. And since I think enough time has passed so I could erase the pencil marks safely, now I'm going in and just coloring them in with my Papermate Flair. So for this font, really all I did is I kind of penciled out each letter and pretty much just kind of put a thicker box on the left side. It's kind of that Broadway type look. I don't think it's accurate enough to actually call it that. Over time, I just kind of do it my way, and it's not always perfect. Like this S comes out really nice, I think, but the S on the useful page looks kind of janky if you ask me. But if you notice now, any of those imperfections, a lot of them are disappearing now that I'm going back over them. I can straighten lines now and really just kind of make those letters pop a bit more. So I was bravely erasing all this. Very happy about that. And nothing smudged that time. Hooray! And since enough time had passed, I thought I could fix the word the. And I thought about editing a lot of that out, but then I realized, you know what? I think it's good to see people making mistakes. I know I appreciate it when I watch other YouTubers and journalists and either they fix the mistakes or try to correct it, or they just say, whatever, it's not that important, it's going to be fine. I'm not so good at the it's going to be fine part. I'm working on it, but I'm not too shabby at fixing things. I mean, you can still obviously tell that I had to put a piece of paper down there, but in the end, once all the color's done and the whole spread is finished, it's a lot less noticeable. This sticker book came with a whole page of these hearts, and stickers like this I generally never know what to do with. I'll be honest, it's so funny because I know I said like I'm not a cheesy phrase person. I'm not really a heart person either. I honestly have no idea why I decided to use hearts on this. Most of the time, if you look through any of my sticker books, the hearts are usually like one of the last things. I don't even really like using them around Valentine's Day. I have no beef with them. They're just not me. But I liked the bright colors. There wasn't really any other, not to my recollection, there wasn't any other icon or anything like that that I could use to kind of decorate around the top and bring that color up to the top of the page. You'll see in just a minute, I color in the letters at the top with some of these brighter colors, but they don't stay bright and colorful for very long. I'm trying to spread out some of the colors. They didn't give you a balanced number of, let's say, the yellow and orange hearts or the blue and green hearts. It's not balanced. So there were more of certain color heart combinations than others. And so I'm trying my best to kind of balance it out and use what I can where I can. So you'll see I needed some light pink, and I'll try to use the other half of a sticker I've chopped on the other side to make it work like there. So there's the bottom of that sticker. And I think I go back and I can even use that little pink bump there somewhere. Yeah, it brings in just a little bit of pink there. But it's a good way to get a lot of mileage out of your stickers. If you're finding, oh, they didn't give me enough of that color and I need more of it, then you can get a little creative with putting them off the edge of the page, cutting it, and then using whatever you cut off somewhere else on the page. And that tends to work really well for me. I kind of just wing it as I go, but I don't know what I was about to say there. It's like 8:21 at night right now. I am just tired. I drove up to see my daughter at her school today, and got stuck in some traffic, and I'm just pooped. I'm not super social, so I took her shopping and that wore me out, and yeah, I'm just pooped. So now I'm trying out some different Tombow color markers. I knew I wanted these letters to be bright and vivid like all the stickers around them. And so I did my best to kind of match the colors. And some of them come out pretty good. I didn't quite have the right light blue. I feel like it should have been a little bit darker, and I know that's being picky, but that's me. Hi, I'm Susie and I'm picky. And just kind of spreading out those colors so they're a little balanced. I don't want the yellow to be next to a yellow or the purple to be next to a purple. So just trying to mix it up a little bit. This O drove me kind of crazy because it's right on the crack of the book. And I tried my best to make it not look like it was in the crack of a book. All right. So now we've got a header at the top, we've got stickers around the side, and now I'm thickening up those outside lines. And this is, again, where I'll just kind of straighten what I can and make it stand out a little bit more so it doesn't look so washed out. All the black near the bottom of the page on the stickers is just really bold and noticeable. And so I didn't want the letters at the top to look all thinned out, and I don't know. I guess when I look at it, I think the bottom looks strong and the top looks weak. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but that's kind of what my brain does. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. It's kind of hard to figure out what to say. Not because I don't have a lot to say, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to explain every single thing I'm doing. Like, you can tell I'm outlining something, but I could also just be going brain dead. My younger daughter went to the mall today with a friend, and so she took her debit card with her for the first time. She gets an allowance, and before anybody asks, it's she pulls her weight around the house. She does chores when she's asked to, and works hard to keep her grades up and all of those things. And I've just found that a good way to teach kids money management is to actually give them money to manage. So she doesn't get a lot, but she gets a little bit, and that gets put into her account. Oh, yeah, there's another goof. So when I erased on that page, since I made the Dutch doors, it was a little weaker at the seam, and it just kind of wiggled it loose there. So you'll see me fiddling with it. And I end up fixing it. I thought about putting a different kind of washi across the top and just letting it be different, but I didn't like the way it looked. So I end up pulling up that washi and putting some underneath it to kind of adhere the page to the other side across the crack of the book. And that ends up working a lot better. It's a lot stronger now. I don't foresee myself going crazy on this page, going back and forth all the time. So I think for what I need it to do, it will hold up just fine. So yeah, I put that striped washi down and tuck it underneath the washi. And so there I'm just trying to pull up whatever's peeking through. But now you'll see here, stick that over the top of that one and cut off whatever's peeking out and do the same there. So if that ever happens to you, this was an easy fix, just to run a little bit of washi underneath the washi I already had. I would say if this happened and I didn't have washi strips there, I would probably have to find a way to incorporate washi. All right, so going in to fill in these letters, and you'll see that letter S is still cute, I guess, but it just didn't quite turn out the same as the other one. I was pretty proud of the other one. And again, this is where useful things will go, or ideas on how I can be useful. I don't know if that's a me thing or if other people have that, but I do enjoy being productive, and I have a tendency to relax a lot more or better, I guess, if I feel like I've already accomplished something. I struggle to just sit down and relax. I like to know somewhere in my head that something's gotten done, and maybe I guess it's like feeling like I've earned it, but I also don't mind feeling that way. I'm proud of myself for earning time to sit and relax, if that makes sense. All right, so this is probably my favorite fix of the page. I just kept looking at it, and like I said, the bottom of the page looked strong, bold colors, and the top just looked weak. It was all marker. It just didn't pop the same way the bottom did. So I decided, instead of the whole letter being colored in, now it's almost like a highlight of color down the left side of each of those letters. So you'll see I just took a black Tombow, I went over the top, and then I just tried to leave a little bit of that color peeking through. Unfortunately, the O in the word down ends up looking like white, but in person it does look like a light blue. And the last touch is I just wanted to find a good sticker to put on the left side of the heading on the top of the page. So I found this that said "You can and you will." And with that, this is the before the pen flip through. Just wanted to share what I ended up filling in at the bottom down here. So as far as active things I could do instead of scrolling on my phone, I could do a little bit of yoga or even just some stretches. I could go out back and jump on our trampoline in the backyard and show it some love. I could take a walk, go on a hike, or just lift some weights while I'm doing something else, like watching TV or talking to my husband. Um, or I could do some squats, which I actually really like this idea, but have I done that one yet? No. So I saw something that said if you do squats, like 10 squats every hour, um, you'll notice a difference. I mean, obviously it's better than nothing, but I keep wanting to try it, but I'm just worried my students will be really freaked out by it if I try it during my workday. So anyway, some social things that I could do instead of just scrolling. I could start a text message thread. I prefer texting over calling, so maybe just somebody I haven't reached out to in a while. I could call someone. I'm thinking more like my mom or dad or my ex-in-laws or even my current in-laws. I could write a letter to someone. I could send out some cards. I try to send out some thinking of you cards here and there just because mail is fun. Or I could plan and pack a box to send to Colin or Emily, my stepson and my daughter, who are both away at college. Then for useful ideas instead of scrolling, this just means kind of, I wanted to say purposeful, so something that had some purpose behind it, but it didn't fit as well. So I said useful. I could find something to organize or clean. I mean, there's always something that can be tidied up. Vacuum doesn't take long, but always needs to be done. I could stop and spend some time in prayer, update my prayer journal, do some laundry, just something, towels, be kind to one of the couple of kids that comes here once in a while. Or this one, which I hate doing but always needs to be done, is clearing out my email inbox. And for the relaxed category, instead of scrolling, I could read a book, do a puzzle, work in my journal, which you know I love. I could work on my diamond painting. My younger daughter bought a gigantic diamond painting. It's got to be 2 or 3 feet long. It's huge. And then immediately abandoned it, which I knew she would. But it's just kind of fun to do that once in a while. And then, of course, color, because I love to color. And that is pretty much my thinking behind this spread. I'm really going to try to do this now. Once I post the video, I think that will make this spread a little more real for me. But anyway, hope it gives you some great ideas of things that you can do when you get that itch to put down your phone. Have a great day. Bye.